All right, let's talk about something that's maybe not the sexiest part of AI, but it is absolutely the most important: getting your data ready. This isn't about fancy algorithms. This is about the foundational work that makes or breaks every single AI project. So, let's open up the playbook.
You know that old saying, garbage in, garbage out? Well, for professionals, it's way more painful than that. It's garbage in, garbage out after you've already sunk weeks, maybe even months, into building a model. This right here, this captures the true cost when you get the data wrong.
So I want you to stop thinking of data cleaning as it's chore. It's not. It's the bedrock. It's the careful, disciplined work you do to make sure that the incredible AI skyscraper you're about to build doesn't just fall over. Getting this right from the start changes everything.
So what are we even talking about here? What is data cleaning really? Well, when you boil it all down, it's the bridge that takes you from raw, messy, unpredictable data to a clean, reliable dataset that an AI can actually learn from.
Okay, so here's the formal definition, and I want you to focus on one word here: systematic. This isn't about randomly poking at a spreadsheet. It's a methodical hunt for anything that's wrong: duplicates, errors, missing pieces, and dealing with it in a very deliberate way.
First up in the playbook, we gotta fight the data clones. Duplicates are they're sneaky. They can completely throw off your numbers, mess up your analysis, and they can trick your AI into memorizing data instead of actually learning from it. And check this out, because there are two kinds of clones we're hunting. On the left, you've got the easy stuff, exact matches, simple. But on the right, that's where it gets tricky. We see John Smith and John Smith as the same person. In AI, it sees two totally different people. Our process has to be smarter than the machine.
So, how do we tackle this like a pro? It's a clear, four-step process. First, you have to decide what makes a record unique. Is it an email, a product SKU? Then, you get rid of the obvious exact matches. Step 3 is where the magic happens. You use fuzzy matching to find those near duplicates. And finally, and this is critical, you document and validate everything so you know you're left with a clean, trustworthy set of data.
All right, next up in the playbook, minding the gaps. I'm talking about those empty cells, the missing values in your data. They are everywhere, and you can't just pretend they don't exist. Every single gap is a decision you have to make.
And this really shows you just how big of a problem this can be. Look at this. 40% of these records are missing a secondary address. 25% are missing a phone number. Now, if your strategy was just delete any row with a blank, you'd end up throwing away 70% of your data. We have to be way smarter about this.
So what do you do? Well, you've basically got three main moves in your playbook. You can delete the record, but only if missing data is rare and not that important. You can impute, which is just a fancy word for making a really educated guess to fill in the blank. Or you can create a new flag that tells the model, hey, just so you know, this info is missing, which can actually be a really useful piece of information for the AI.
Okay, so we've handled clones and we've filled in the gaps. Now we gotta tame the wild data. This is the stuff that's actually in your dataset, but it's either totally inconsistent or just completely nuts. This is all about bringing some order to the chaos.
I mean, look at this. This is a perfect example. You and I know that these are the exact same phone number. But in AI, no way. It sees parentheses, dashes, spaces, and it thinks these are two totally different things. Standardization is just picking one format and sticking to it, for everything.
And then you've got these guys, the outliers. Just imagine this for a second. Your average sale is $100, and then suddenly, bam, a $1 million purchase comes through. Now, is that a typo, or did someone actually just win the lottery? How you handle that one single data point can completely change your results.
And this is so important. There is no one-size-fits-all answer for outliers. It all comes down to context. As you can see here, you've got options. If it's real, you keep it. If it's a clear error, you remove it. You can also cap it at a more reasonable number, or you can just flag it and let the AI figure out what to do with that information.
Okay, so we've covered what to fix. Now let's talk about how we work. These last pieces are the professional habits, the safeguards that keep you from accidentally making things worse while you're trying to make them better.
Seriously, think of this as your pre-flight checklist before you launch any model. You need to be tracking your row counts. You need to be looking at how the data changes before and after. But honestly, the most powerful tool here? Your own eyes. Just looking at a random sample of 50 or 100 records can reveal things that no automated script ever will.
Okay, I'm going to pause here for a second, because if you take away only one thing from this whole talk, let it be this. The amazing AI model you build today, it's going to be outdated in a year or two, but your documentation, the log of every single choice you made to clean this data, that lasts forever. That's what makes your work trustworthy, repeatable, and defensible.
So after all that meticulous, let's be honest, kind of tedious work, what's the big payoff? Well, it's massive. It means your models are actually reliable. It means you can develop them faster because you aren't chasing ghosts in the data. And it means a lot fewer unpleasant surprises when you finally release your AI into the wild.
So let's just land the plane here with this one thought. We all get excited about what AI can do, but its true power, its reliability, it all comes back to the foundation we just talked about. Your AI is only ever going to be as good as the data you feed it. So the question you have to ask is your foundation truly built to last?